Yeah, I'm your Black Lex today, baby. Now you ain't never gotta like me, that shit is overrated. You need a hero to love, I'll be the villain that you hated. When it's all said and done, you gon' love me. Me kissing babies, fucking ladies thinking of me. Cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the one that's supposed to lose. But I'm American, baby, so the rules all skewed for me. Steal your identity, fuck up your credit for free. Police know it's stolen, but they still make you pay the fee. And you don't respect me, for real? I'm the one that's showing you what the real world is. All these backroom deals for your kids' future. My financial aid hustle keep your kids mooching. And why you motherfuckers still stupid? The Statue of Liberty married the country, divorced and now the bitch still moving. With half of the money, alimony, child support. You know what's up when I be winning in the court, cause I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H&I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H&I-C, everybody wants to be. They try to tell me thou shalt not steal. In the same church they tell me Jesus white, is they for real? They try to say the land of the free, minus the slavery, plus the fact that you pay for land these folks stole for free. And you wanna be Superman. Did you forget that Lex Luthor became the president? You lacking common sense, that's why the villain lives. That's why the villain's right. They turn on Superman, man, they turn on Jesus Christ. Even the devil got teams like Arizona State, Duke, the state of Jersey. That man say you're sold and he can't get a jersey. Y'all go to church on Sunday and you claim you're worthy. That's why I got my credit and I'm charging 10%. You finish paying me and you gon' pay me triple, bitch. So why'd I be a hero when a villain gets paid? And women like paid, so the villain gets laid. So I'ma be the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H&I-C, everybody wants to be. Damn right, I'm the villain, the bad guy, the numero uno, the one that y'all hate to see. Cause I'm the big dog, the head honcho, H&I-C, everybody wants to be.
Oh snap. So we got a topic today, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, this is, in some ways, it's probably going to be offensive and disrespectful to some people, but it's a legitimate perspective and a legitimate point of view from my opinion. Is the anti-black manosphere soft? And I'm going to tell you the reason why I'm asking this rhetorical question, because it's soft. Over the years, I've seen a lot of men who are, who have an issue with the black manosphere, and they have this tendency to be a bit effeminate, be passive aggressive, and have a leaning to the the LGBT community, as if straight men just hate, have an issue with them like that. So we have a problem. That's not the topic, but a large segment of it is not anti-black, and that's why I said the black manosphere. The black manosphere. This is another thing that goes on. For some odd reason, when black men are talking, y'all can't comprehend it. This is what I mean by passive aggressive. You might not have did that on purpose, but it's a lot of conflating. Because what happens is, it's a reason why we have a black manosphere and not a manosphere. And some of the black people that are in the quote unquote manosphere The black manosphere is like, no, you can't be here. We can see what you on. We tried with some of those guys, just didn't work. But in a general sense, they're effeminate, they're passive aggressive, and they lean to the rainbow community over heteros. I'm not gonna say over heterosexuality, but they try to blend the two. Now, for me, you know, and talking to a brother earlier today, I was like, you know, I see a lot of these guys. They have ponytails and buns, and they speak like Michael Eric Dyson now. Just a lot of pontificating and a lot of, you know, soft shoeing. So, and I've learned over the years that, you know, these guys are doing it for because they believe in it. I'm not even going to just say they're doing it for money. They believe in it, you know, and they're getting paid doing it. And there's a lot of backing. It's not disrespect, fam. Fresh and Fit has never been in the black manosphere. Somebody from the black manosphere actually introduced Fresh and Fit to each other and thought it would be a good idea for them to partner and be a show, but they've never been in the black manosphere. That's what I'm like. That's the reality of it. You get what I'm saying? That's the thing. Because they're black, you got to remember Myron is Sudanese, and I think he's Sudanese, and Walter is like from the Bahamas, if I'm not mistaken. Not the same. But we're gonna get into the other part. So we got other people out here. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. My throat's kind of hurting. I'm trying to drink some tea and whatnot, so excuse me on that. Snap. So even we got a lot of the pro-black guys, you know, right? It's overly effeminate. A lot of times you say people in the black manosphere are misogynists and woman haters. So this is going to do predominantly with the relationship part, and it's going to do with the political part. And I'm gonna put down what's the issue from somebody who's in the black manosphere, with you guys who are anti-black man. For the most part, you got, even though you guys really don't talk about much and you really don't really bring much to the table from our point of view, you're definitely bigger. Your channels grow faster. You're not shadow banned. Your message gets out there. The issue is the vast majority of you guys would not exist if it wasn't for the black manosphere, because being anti the black manosphere content is actually the foundation of a lot of you guys' channel. You do the same thing that Cynthia G did. She was anti-racism and then went to anti-black man, because when it's the same premise, so you vacillate between one or the other. Now, some of the brothers in the black manosphere, like you guys, who is like, let me see who I can, like FD Signifier and Consciously. I know it's like a Lil Bill, something. It's a few guys. You know, they're like, why don't these guys debate brothers in the black manosphere? Here's the issue. It's not gonna. The black manosphere has never been easy to beat in a debate. People tried to debate us straight up, and it didn't work. People tried to trap us in situations like, oh, a gotcha moment, you know, and slide us into a debate. Didn't work. People tried, you know, phone calls and interviews. It just doesn't work, because our talking points are rooted in actual life. real life, reality, facts, just regular old truths that go on in society. It's not it's not actual, it's not some rhetoric that people say because we got a new word to pontificate for these few months. It's not that. So now you have to deal with actual reality. And the issue becomes, with you guys who are anti-Black Manosphere, y'all got, man, appreciate it, fam. Y'all got one huge issue that you will not overcome. The vast majority of the Black Manosphere's content, especially when we were able to do like reaction videos, is actually reaction videos. It's something based in something that actually happened in the news, in the media. Well, I shouldn't say the media, but in social media, or how can I put this? Something that can happen in your personal life or your surrounding of your personal life. And here we go. He already got cooked when it. You see, I'm not surprised, but when it comes, so we have video. You get what I'm saying? We have video evidence. This happens because what used to happen back in the day was this. Because the Black Manosphere, a lot of times we would debate with women and guys and guys who were anti-Black Manosphere. And it used to be funny because the women stopped debating because it was like, because they couldn't, the things they would say, you men are making this up. You men are just saying stuff. This isn't real. This isn't true. And then guys would go, news story. So here's a social media post. Here's another one. Here's somebody else talking about it. Here's a movie clip. Here's a TV show clip. Now what are we gonna do? Here's somebody at poetry night talking about this. Now what are we gonna do? And then it's like, snap. They got, quote unquote, they got too much evidence. So now the issue that the anti-Black Manosphere people have is they don't have as much evidence. You would think that if Black men are so bad and Black men are doing so much dirt and so much wrong and doing so many people dirty, you would think your algorithm should support it. You would think that, hey man, you should have news stories, you should have social media posts, you should have all kinds of stuff of us bad Black men out here. You should have a lot. Excuse me. But you don't. You don't have a lot of evidence to work with. There's stuff out there for sure. And you don't have it at the consistency of the type of stuff that Black men can put out because of what's in the media, social media, so on and so forth. You don't have that. So now it goes to this conflating, passive aggressive. Let's talk this. Let's talk about the manosphere in general. What's up, Game Changer? Let's talk about the manosphere, then the Black one, and let's say these people over here or these people over there. Let's just say all men are bad and all men are this. It's like, nah, dog. You can't be specific. The Black Manosphere can be specific. Part of the reasoning, Calypso, part of the reasoning, as he said, the women never debated in good faith. These men who are anti-Black Manosphere never debate in good faith. They never make content in good. I ain't gonna say never. People have a tendency to, for the most part, not have content that's based in good faith. And I see this over and over and over again. So, and the reason why I say are people soft, because y'all are overly effeminate, Oregon, y'all overly effeminate, and y'all overly homosexual leading. And for some odd reason, it's like, because of those things, you got to be anti-Black man. Now, let me say this. There's a whole market that uses the Black Manosphere. We've seen it on radio. We've seen it on social media. We've seen it on television. We've seen it in movies now. For, and I've said it a million times, for a shadow banned space to not have so much influence, we sure got a lot of influence. And nobody asked the question why. It's because people aren't lying. That's why. You don't have to, you remember Kevin, you say you can't make this stuff up. He could tell you what was about to happen before it happened. Why? He was in the Black Manosphere for a while. He was in those debates before he blew up. He knew exactly what was about to go down because he heard it over and over and over again. He saw it over and over and over again. And that's the difference between, let's just say, the anti-Black Manosphere. Just like Kevin Samuels had his show, he had it with men and then he had it with women. And you see Kendra G has the same show. It's a very similar show. And all of dysfunction that people was mad at Kevin Samuels for, it's all on Kendra G's show. It's been there from the beginning to the point she would have issues with it. But the interesting thing is, you're not gonna find black men that are that dysfunctional at that clip. We're not just gonna show up as dysfunctional on a regular basis like the ladies are. And the social media has proved it time and time and time again. So when you want to address the black men in the Black Manosphere without addressing these obvious things that you can see with your own eyes, though you might have big channels and bigger voices, it's because you're pushing a narrative that we all know is bullshit. That's a problem. There you go. Now, interestingly enough, we have you guys pontificating. We have you the pro-blacks, but we have a political side of this too. Because a lot of times, there are men in the Black Manosphere that are conservative and liberal. I would say the majority are conservative. When the majority of the black men in the Black Manosphere that are conservative aren't with the racist BS with the Republican Party. That's why they haven't been in the quote unquote the white manosphere, because we don't operate like that. Conservative values, yes, but not that, not the Ku Klux Klan conservative. We ain't that. We're not that. And even those people who play that game, they're bigger and they are anti-black man for the most part. What up? They're anti-black man and anti-Black Manosphere. So this ain't, for me, it's like, this is not a thing where I just gotta throw you under the bus and trash you. I'm just calling a spade a spade. One of the things that the black men in the Black Manosphere understand is a lot of y'all act like the black men in the Black Manosphere are man haters, and the vast majority of us were raised by women, our mothers, grandmothers. Some of us had two parents household, but I think most of us didn't. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So the irony of it is, we have a propensity to understand something. When you're right, you're right, and when you're wrong, you're wrong. But with you folks, it's when a black man is right, he's wrong, and when a black man is wrong, he's wrong. Unless it's the I'm a good black man who's anti-Black Manosphere. But then when it's a black woman, when she's wrong, she's right, and when she's right, she's right. So y'all not objective. And since you can't be objective, you have a problem. That's the same issue with the political thing. We're not on that, let's just, play this game and hop on and just say, let's just do whatever. No, we don't want to do whatever. We don't want to do whatever. We don't want to just vote just to say my ancestor voted. No, we want actual policies that are advantageous to us as black people. But see, a lot of y'all don't want that. Y'all want policies that's advantageous to black women. That's where the rift came in politically. If y'all didn't know that. And that doesn't just go to Kamala Harris. That goes probably a decade and some change prior to that. Because it reared its ugly head when Obama was in office with the My Brother's Keeper initiative. It reared its ugly head then. But you guys just, some of y'all were too young to know that, or were too young to pay attention to that at the time. So it's no diss to that. But it doesn't dawn on you that, man, this is real life we're talking about. We're not Tyler Perry movie Bad Black Men. This is not a fantasy. This is not a narrative of a television show. This is actually what's really going on out here. And because a lot of y'all, when I say soft, I don't just mean effeminate, but that's definitely the majority of it. A lot of y'all are soft on character. Y'all don't have good character when it comes to something wrong being done to a black man. Y'all don't. A lot of y'all are hypocrites. You'll talk about the bad, evil black man who was doing the most, who was in the streets, and you was in the streets. But now you a good guy. Oh, okay. You'll talk about the lazy black man who's just mooching off of the black woman, and you're a better black man, but you was the lazy guy mooching off of the black woman. That was the issue with when people was talking back in the day. We had an issue with Derek Jackson. It was like, no, man, he's not talking about black men. He's talking about himself. But y'all just couldn't see that. That's the same thing that we would say about, what's his name? Ace Metaphor. It was the same thing. It was this, out of context, conflating of, oh, black men are like this and black men. It's like, no, you're like that. And you're trying to say black men are like that. And since everybody's going to go along with it because y'all all some man haters, some black man haters, it's like, oh, okay. So now you overlooked all of your hypocrisy and nonsense. I got you, Kev. Advocates and interlopers want, right? They want to be openly dysfunctional without any pushback, and we've seen it over time and time we It wasn't just see y'all don't. A lot of content that the black men were making and the Black Manosphere was making, we already knew it existed. We didn't have to make it up. How many of the You Are Not the Father shows has there been in the last, let's just say 15 years? They got them on YouTube now. It's a normal thing now. The DNA test shows all over YouTube now. Episodes all over YouTube now. We talked about it back in the day. That was the issue even in the beginning with Ayanna Van Zant, the Fix My Life show. In the beginning, we looked at it like, oh, she's just anti-black man, because everything, oh, the black man this and this black man that, and the black man this and the black man that, and the black man this and the black, and it was like, okay, a couple of seasons in, people started getting comfortable and they started saying they was comfortable with their dysfunction, and then she started going, whoa, it's not all the dysfunction in the black community can't be placed at the feet of black men. Now, it was the women doing this, that, and the third, and it's like, oh, we gotta address this. And when that started getting addressed, thus the canceling the show, the death threats, and all that other stuff. It's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. It's the same thing as what's the woman's name? Crystalline Carrison. You know, I ain't even talking about the 80s. Mark Povich wasn't the 80s, that was the 90s. Was it the 90s? 90s, early 2000s? I was in college. Jerry Springer was the 90s. I think Maury came after that. But like with Kristen and Karen, the whole swirling thing, you know. So the white man is better. Okay, fine. That didn't work out so well. You know, here we go again. Same thing with the guys, and I'm gonna say this on the flip side of that. Some of you guys that are pro, there are too many guys on social media, whether they be famous or not, that are anti-black man, but they ain't with a black woman. That it's pretty obvious with y'all. It's pretty obvious. Like y'all are, oh, black men, you got these educated pontificators from back in the day. You know, the black men need to step up. And he ain't been with a black woman in 30 years. You get what I'm saying? It's that type of stuff. And just like you say, you know, the black men and the black manosphere are misogynistic and it's the weird thing about it is, from the looks of it, the black men in particular, but I can even say this with the black women. The black men and the black women who have the mentality that have similar content as the black manosphere, they've had longer relationships than the people who are anti-black manosphere. Crazy enough as it seems. A lot of the, you know, and I say more functional. Not because of, you know, oh, he's a misogynist, we having gender roles. No, it ain't even that. It ain't even that. Because it's more honesty. A lot of y'all are just not honest. See, the problems in our society aren't problems you want to have, you want to fix. They're problems you just want to exacerbate by, you know, only dealing with half of the problem. And and with dealing with half of the problem, you're dealing with half of the population. So you're actually not dealing with the issue. You can't fix the issue if you're gonna blame everything on one side. You know, right. A lot of y'all have this. A lot of y'all don't want to actually be outright honest and say, hey man, this is starting to get bad. And here's the one thing that the black manosphere, the men in the black manosphere know. You're gonna have to address all of these shenanigans out in this world at some point. Because everybody else had to go, man, listen, I can't, you know, I can't just I've been on this hill, fighting on this hill of being anti-black man and anti-black manosphere, but what I see happening over here is a problem. It's a problem, and I've been trying not to address it, but it's a problem. And you've seen it big high from people up to people down. You've seen it. Pro-black community had to do it. And they still be vacillating back and forth. So the anti-black manosphere, y'all gonna have to do it. The women already have done it. You know, that's why, you know, y'all don't understand this, but sometimes y'all don't understand this, but that's why the ladies aren't blowing up like they used to. Not the ladies who are anti-black man, they're not blowing up like they used to. Because they used to black men, this black men, that black. It's the men are growing faster than the women doing that. And it was the same thing with the gay community. Maybe like 10 years ago on YouTube, there was a stretch where being a gay man and just making content, because it was like part of that when girls would blow up on YouTube with makeup tutorials and whatnot. All of that was kind of together. And they had issues with black men, and black men were like, okay, whatever. But what we've seen is a lot of gay men and somewhat studs. Studs not so much now. But feminists, gay men, and somewhat studs were like black men bad. And the irony was, because you see it now. Like, let me give you an example. If you listen to Ricky Smiley in the morning show, every time they have a issue with a relationship that they talk about, Gary is a gay guy. He for damn near 100%, if there's a black man involved, he's on who's ever against the black man. That black man this and that black man that. It's always a condescending, the black man is evil kind of thing. Come on, Mo. Come on. What's up, Mo? Appreciate it, man. Don't you ever do that again, Mo. It's always that. Say something. All right, look, Super Sly be trolling his ass off. Sly be trolling. I don't take Sly seriously when it comes to stuff like this, because he be trolling. He might have meant it, but I don't watch him like that on that when it comes to that type of stuff. I don't, because I'm not into the occult stuff that he's into. But that's a whole nother aspect. But even that, like, he had an issue with us, and some of the men in the Black Manosphere, and I remember then it's like, because I say this, there have been black men who the Black Manosphere have let in the Black Manosphere space to interact with, so we can hash some of this stuff out, who basically turned on black men in the Black Manosphere. And a lot of times it was really out of jealousy of, because people were more successful. And a lot of the guys that were successful in the Black Manosphere, Kevin included, could tell you, I ain't gonna get into that. Kevin included could tell you that brothers got jealous, and they just started going at people out of nowhere, just for no reason. Because it gives you a little push. It does give you a little push to be anti-black man and anti-Black Manosphere. It does. But it fizzles out. And I'm saying, and that's why I'm saying these people are soft, because basically when it fizzles out on them, they start getting all political and talking race. And when the race thing dies down, they come back to black men ain't ish. And it's like, listen, y'all will never keep it 100 in your life, because the only person that has to fix themselves is black men. And the weird part about it is, the black men who are anti-black man, for some odd reason, they act like, what do you call them? What do you call those people? Okay, well, the best way I can say, they act like coons, because they ain't black men. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, oh, those black men over there, but they're like this and they're like that. It's like, oh, you're not a black man now? Oh, no, I'm different. I'm special. I'm not like one of you guys. They become that person. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they become that person. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm the good black guy. What makes you good? Being effeminate? I believe God makes mistakes. If not, then why would I'm against him? let me answer this in this sense, fam. There was free will. See, that was that I think that's the part when it comes to religion and God that people forget. God gave free will. God gave you a choice. The choice is what what was perfect was giving you a choice. Your decisions are your decisions. See, if there is no choice, there is no heaven and hell, because everybody's just like, okay, we all going to heaven. The 7 deadly sins are all choices you make. You choose those deadly sins. You choose to act on them. We all have thoughts. We all have, ideas, but the act on them is your issue, is the issue. But we talking about the you see the title is the anti-black manosphere soft. That's what we talking about, Vincent. So one of the major things that goes on is angels did have free will. That's why they got into so much stuff. That's what the Nephilim would come from. Angels sleeping with human beings. That's what that came from. Wanting more, the issue, us human beings, if you biblically were the issue, because how did you make, how can I say, let's make man in our own image and make man above the angels. They had an issue with that. That's what the issue was biblically. They had an issue with us being higher than angels. That ain't cool. That's how they looked at it. Anyway, with no consistent concept of man. Exactly. Well, I mean, now I'm about to just just get into some ish about this. Here's what a lot of you guys that are anti-black manosphere are tripping about, and this is why y'all are soft. Y'all want to talk y'all way out of these situations. There is no action involved. There's just a whole lot of pontificating. There's a whole lot of pontificating. There's a whole lot of, as a man, we should have a conversation and with another conversation and another conversation. And y'all want to be more like ladies and just want to talk guys to death and talk guys into submission so you can do whatever you want to do. The issue with that is black men in the black manosphere is like, you know what? Go do you. Go do whatever it is that you want to do the way you see fit. But here's the thing. If it doesn't work out, you got to fix it. If it doesn't work out, it's your fault. If it doesn't work out, the other black men aren't going to help you. Because what a lot of these guys who are anti-black man and anti-black manosphere, what a lot of y'all are really doing is y'all just want chaos. That's what y'all want to be able to do whatever. And when I say chaos personally, this is what I'm saying. A lot of y'all want to have a life of trends. This year we're going to do this trend, and this year we're going to do that trend, and this year we're going to do that trend, and this year we're going to do that trend. And you never want to deal with life as an adult. So now when you went from 25 to 45, just following every trend, and all of a sudden life starts smacking you in the face because you realize you didn't really do anything. Now you want, brothers, let's come together. And black men like, nah, we tired of that. No. Just like, let me use a trend right now. It wasn't even a year ago, people was running around talking about pronouns. What's your pronoun? I'm he, him, I'm they, them. Now you don't really hear people talking about that. And people were mad at people in the black manosphere like, I ain't finna do all that stupid stuff. Is a man? What is a man? What is a woman? It's like, really? We're not finna have this dumb conversation. And it was, these black men are misogynists because they don't want to be referred to as, you have an issue calling he, her, them, they, and she. It's like, whatever, dog. Whatever, dog. So now you sitting by eating Cheetos and Slim Jims and drinking Slurpees, getting fat, talking about what your pronouns are. That ain't do nothing for your life. Nothing for your life. Nothing. At all. And that's what I mean by chaos. Y'all just want to try everything out. Because what it looks like is you want black men, to step aside and just let not just black women, but let the LGBT community, let them rule over the black community, and we're gonna see where it goes. And it's like, look, man, I'm not finna see where nothing goes with you, because I don't see you doing anything productive. I don't see you trying to do anything tangible. I don't see your agendas aren't tangible. Your agendas are aspirational and for fluff. Like, oh, look, see me, you see me? I'm in a place and I'm at the table and I'm special and I wore my hair in the White House. We don't care about none of that, man. We don't care about none of that. A lot of y'all are just, a lot of y'all aren't pro-black. Y'all are acting what y'all think black is. Y'all ain't even black yet. Yeah, no math, no logic, just vibes. Like black men aren't finna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years because y'all got a million vibes. The vibe just changed. And the vibe changed. Man, what is this? Thomas, man, thanks, fam. The vibe changed again. We're gonna go with this vibe, and we're gonna go with that vibe, and we're gonna vibe out. No, we saw that with the white community. That don't get you nowhere. Because what happens is a lot of y'all are just lazy people who want to just have the excuse to vibe out for a lifetime while somebody else is doing all the heavy lifting, and you just want to show up. Oh, we got a mansion. We don't got nothing. I got a mansion. You got vibes. Go live with your vibes. And this is why I'm saying, like, y'all are soft because y'all ain't really trying to build anything. And what I mean is this. For years, there have been women and men who y'all have connections. I've seen people get, I can't see this, but I've heard people on the radio station who were mad at the Black Manosphere. They were on national radio. And it started years ago, like 7, 8 years ago. These black men are this and these black men are that. And it's like, okay, here we go. Here we go. People were what do you call that? Reaching out to politicians to shut guys down. So when we talked about, the Black Manosphere being shadow banned, it was because of that type of stuff. A lot of y'all, even with you young guys now, y'all don't even know how the Black Manosphere started. It was basically some women who did a hit list on a bunch of black men on YouTube. That's how that was. We need to shut down all these black men because they was like they anti-black woman. And the problem with that was the majority of those guys, we got together and became the Black Manosphere. And some of those guys and the majority of the guys who were on that list really wasn't making content, quote unquote, blashing black women. But the biggest names was like Tommy Sotomayor, Obsidian, O'Shea, Angry Man, Jap. I know that for sure. Because it was more than one list. It was more than one list. Yeah, how dare you? Z, what up? So now we got this issue where the Black Manosphere started because black women didn't want black men to have a voice. Oh, good. Black women didn't want black men to have a voice, and other black men didn't want black men to have a voice. That's what That's what's been going on. So now when black men are speaking, because obviously all you other people who have a voice, it matters. But when black men start speaking, it's like the sky is falling. You know. Now, well, it wasn't just like I was one of the people with the child support conversations, but it wasn't just that. Because the family court thing was the MRAs. Because the Manosphere itself, you had the MGTOW, which we wasn't cool with, the MRAs, who the pickup artists, who the MGTOW wasn't cool with, and the MRAs was like, I ain't cool with both of y'all really. And it was black men was around, and black men was like, we're gonna separate from white men because we didn't want to deal with the racist BS. You know, that's how, you know, in a sense, that's why BGS is BGS Earmore, because they were separating from, you know, white guys. Can't win for losing. You're right. So now you have this issue. You know, it was a dating issue. It was a family court issue. It was, you know, it was it became a political issue. And at the most part, it became a freedom issue. You know, but the truth of the matter is, when it comes to the Black Manosphere, a lot of this stuff just has to do with right and wrong. We don't think, you know, doing a black man dirty is cool. We don't think, oh man, if a black man get railroaded, it's okay. But the people who are anti-Black Manosphere, they're cool with that. They're cool with that. They don't have an issue with that. They're no different than, in our opinion, they're no different than when let's just go back to like the Trayvon Martin situation, because we see it now. A black young man, a black grown man gets into a situation and something happens to him, and the first thing the media does is try to find a picture with him, you know, when they say he's flashing gang signs or he has gold teeth in his mouth. They never paint him with a good picture. He got good pictures, but they won't show him. That's the same thing that the anti-Black Manosphere does. You won't say, okay, this person's making sense. This person is good. This person is right. You know, I might not agree with this person 100%, but they got a point with this. They don't never do that. They try to conflate and just throw us with a bunch of people in their worst moment at a bad light and go, oh yeah, that's the black man and the Black Manosphere. It's like, no, it's not. And you've had guys around the Black Manosphere, in the Black Manosphere, who had drank the Kool-Aid on black men being bad. Case in point, SWP. Sergeant Willie P. I don't know how, but he, you know, for a person who studies so much, he was like, I didn't realize that there were, how did he say this? There were more black women with kids than black men. He said, I thought for years that black men had all these kids running around here and black women didn't. And he had to realize that. It took him years to realize, oh man, black men have less kids than black women. Oh, there are more black men married than black women. Oh, and it's like, yeah, the stereotypes of us as black men don't match the reality. And now, you know, I gotta put it out there when I say this. Now you're seeing how black men are treated in America, you know, and how the machine of people's ideology comes to play with DDG and Haley Bailey. You're seeing it. You can't say the dude not getting done wrong. You're seeing it from the beginning. You're seeing it from the beginning, you know, and if they stay on social media for 18 years, you're going to see it to the end. And y'all are not going to address the issue. Y'all are not going to address the issue. Y'all go, see. And this is why I say, you know, y'all soft. Because if you see if you see a man who's anti-black man do something wrong, oh, it's an excuse. You see a woman, you know, do something to a black man that's wrong, it's an excuse. You're inconsistent when it comes to right and wrong. You justify everything. So you soft. can't nobody, you can't be trusted to be honest. You can't be trusted to be you're not legitimate, but God dog, I forgot the doggone word for that. You know, your point of view is basically illegitimate though, because you can't deal with facts. You know, you're as much as you want to, you're projecting, you know, men hate women, men are, the black man is a sellout, the black man is a white man in the black community. And it's like, yeah, but the actions don't say that. Disingenuous, yeah, but I wasn't thinking of disingenuous, but I take disingenuous. You know, lacking authenticity, I take it. Definitely lacking integrity. You know, but since you lacking these things, this is the issue with your anti-black manosphere kind of content. Because okay, can you find some misogyny? I'm sure you can. Can you find somebody that says something anti-black woman? I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. But it ain't gonna be at the clip. It ain't gonna be as much as these guys putting out what's going on wrong. Can you find somebody that you feel is a sellout? I ain't too sure about that. Not in the black manosphere. It's a few, but usually it's the people hovering around the black manosphere who not in it. Usually, you know, because politically, and I say this with you guys in y'all agenda, y'all liberal agenda doesn't work well for the black community. It just doesn't. There's, you know, that's why, you know, part of, you know, whether you know it or not, part of even Tariq Nasheed and the FBA movement and the delineation movement and the reparation movement, what's up, Chaos, was part of those conversations were had in the black manosphere already. We were talking about reparations for years before it became a thing. We wasn't really talking about delineation like that, but we were talking about how we weren't all kinfolk, you know, how I say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. We had been talking about that for years too. So a lot of these movements that y'all are part of now, it doesn't dawn on you that part of it came from the black manosphere. I ain't gonna say we in, you know, we're the inspiration for that. I ain't gonna do that, but you got to understand that a lot of this stuff we've talked about ad nauseum a lot. Yeah, you can't be intersectional. But see, these people, this intersectionality shit is just not real. A lot of this stuff has become, and I'm gonna say this, and I wish I talked to Edward Anderson earlier about this. A lot of what I see about the people that are anti-black manosphere and even a lot of black folks who are liberal and conservative, a lot of y'all at this particular point, y'all are just suburban kids who grew to adults who trying to push the envelope to have a racial experience. That's what this is. You know, y'all trying to prove that y'all black enough. Whether it's, you know, black enough to be anti-black man, black enough to be anti-black, black enough to get into it with white folks and finally have a racist experience, whatever black enough you want to be, y'all just playing games. And people like myself and in this group will call you out for like, yeah, you playing around right now. You playing a role. That's what you just playing a role, and you making fun of stuff that shouldn't be made fun of, you know. So, you know, and you see it, you know, with all of this extra, not necessarily emotionalism, it's extra intellectualism, and everything is just super duper. No, everything is not intersectional. Everything is not, you know, oh, look at this is a black moment of why the blackness of the blackness. This is why the black woman is like this, and to go through the black woman, and this is why the black man. No, y'all done got to the point where, you know, y'all don't want to address, like when we when us in the Black Manosphere, especially BGS, was addressing the education, y'all didn't want to. You people who are anti-Black Manosphere, y'all didn't want to address that. And now look at what you see in society. There's a bunch of people who don't know history because they didn't pay attention in school. They've been on a smartphone their whole lives and they still ain't got the information. And now they're just making up dumb stuff. They're just making up dumb stuff. Like, oh, let me tell you about this and let me tell you about that. Now, I saw the thing recently with the people who didn't, let me tell you about Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman was real. Harriet Tubman was a CIA agent. It's like, listen, man. I remember years ago people were talking that, Martin Luther King didn't die. He got killed in the operating table. He's like, listen, we've seen this a million times with y'all. Y'all didn't want to be black in school and learn anything black in school because you were just young and stupid. And now you became an adult and now you're trying to be super pro-black. What is that? What is that movie? Dear White People. Y'all like, y'all like that. I went to college and now I just want to tell you the black experience. Your daddy's white and you grew up in a suburb. Shut up. Shut up. I went to Harvard and I studied African American studies, but you don't know black history at all. How you don't know black history? Lionel Richie and Samuel L. Jackson can tell you more about modern American black history than y'all, and y'all went to Harvard because they lived it. That's what happened. Same thing when I say, like, the people who are anti-Black Manosphere, you don't have recollection of black men's history in America, even in the last 50 years. You know how I can tell you that? Because part of the stereotype is all the good black men dead in jail are gay. So now, what are y'all still playing this game? All the good black men either dead, the ones you're concerned about are incarcerated, and the ones that's supposed to be good now, are the gay ones. It's like, oh, okay. All right, we still on that? Oh, okay. Fine, whatever. So if you're a straight black man, you ain't gonna be a good one until you're dead. If you're a straight black man or a gay black man, you ain't gonna be good until you get locked up and stay straight after you leave or come out not straight. It just depends, right? Right. So let's do this. Everything is intersectional. It's like, So now we got this issue, and then let's get to the financial part of this. Let me tell y'all, this anti-Black Manosphere part. A lot of you men and women who are anti-Black man and anti-Black Manosphere, you do realize we can see you from a mile away with this. You ain't a real black man unless you pay for everything and make black women's lives easy as hell so they could never do nothing ever a day in their life. So you need to work yourself to death, and that's what a real man does, especially a real black man. And all of y'all look lazy. Like, what did Tupac say? You looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. All of y'all look like y'all just sit down, eat Cheetos, and get your hair done and get your nails done, and never do a hard day's work in your life. And that's what y'all think people, should give y'all. And that's what's real. And the men, y'all don't look, the men who believe that, and you black men need to do this and do that, y'all look like y'all don't work either. I don't understand y'all. Y'all are keyboard gangsters, keyboard warriors. I don't think you could jog a mile. I don't think you could fight a round. I don't think you could actually do your own landscaping. I don't think you could change a tire. I think y'all the kind of guys that's like, I don't want a gun in my house. I don't want a gun. We can't have guns in the house because, oh my God, if we had to fight for our lives, I would just talk to them. Like y'all don't got good sense. Y'all just don't got good sense. Being a man is not, this idea. Oh, you need to be in touch with your feminine energy. We don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm sorry that I don't know what being in touch with my feminine energy is, because it don't make sense to me. You want me to be Prince? That's what you want me to be? Like, that's what you remember. Prince was like one of one. Like, brothers ain't doing that. Like, that's what y'all think y'all want brothers to walk around and be Prince. We like Prince music. We love Prince as an artist, but we ain't trying to walk around like Prince. Y'all want us to walk around, be Michael Jackson and talk to you. Hi, how are you doing? I just think you're so wonderful. No, we don't want to do that. Sorry. Y'all tripping. Why are you into being masculine? To be perfectly honest, I'm a grown man. I ain't thinking about being masculine. I'm just being a man. I'm not, this is how a man walks, and this is how a man talks, and this is what a man will say, and this is how a man drives a car, and this is how, you're right. This is how a man eats. Yeah, look, like, if you believe in that everything is about, if you're a man believing every move is masculine, that's because you on drugs. You're on drugs. We're not walking around like, this is how a man uses the bathroom. Yeah. This is how a man eat cookies. Yeah. Like, no. We live in our lives day to day in the moment. We're planning for the future, but we live in day to day. Because I know what that's like. I know what it's like to normally see young men try to find themselves as being a man by making them what a man is in their mind. And, this is a man and that's a man. It's like, bro, you really doing too much right now. You're really doing too much. I got to drink water like a man. It's like, bro, just drink the goddamn water. like just do what normal human beings do. Put the glass to your mouth and drink. It's like, we're not like guys who are effeminate and, how can I say this? Because when guys are effeminate, even homosexual, they have this tendency to just be over the top, and it's like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Don't you think you're being a little extra right now? We're not gonna do that. And a lot of y'all, what y'all issue is, y'all want grown men to be softer to make you look more like, I guess, a man. And shout out, my cousin passed away years ago, man. I miss my cousin. He wasn't effeminate, but he had an insight because he was in the music industry. He had an insight that me and his brother, sometimes we look at him like, what the did you just say? Because we wouldn't think like that, but he's seen it so many times. So we sitting there talking, and and he said, he's like, he said, yeah, man, this was when people was wearing polo shirts a lot. He's like, yeah, man, I don't like wearing them shirts. I'm like, why not? This is a polo shirt. What's the problem? He said, no, man, y'all work out. When y'all work out, y'all got shoulders and y'all got chest. Y'all look good in a polo shirt. People like me don't look good in polo shirts. So I can't wear that because, when you're standing next to somebody that got shoulders and they got a chest and you wearing the same type of shirt, girls can see the difference. And, it make you kind of feel kind of insecure because you're like, damn, she looking at him, she ain't looking at me. We got the same thing on, basically. And I was like, what the fuck? He said, listen, you don't get what I'm talking about because you work out. And he told that to me and his brother, right? So, and we all grown, I'm in my 30s. Me and my cousin in our 30s. My older cousin, his brother is like in his 40s at the time. And it's dawning on us. It's like, there are guys who think like this? And he's like, yes. So it's like, so he literally started working out and so he could wear a polo shirt. So I say that story to say this. There are guys who have this mindset that most guys don't understand, because it's like, we're not thinking this. We don't go to a restaurant or to a club or a bar and go, man, we got the same shirt. We don't do that. Like, part of, let me reel this in, slow down, reel this in. This is why a person like myself, I said years ago, men are starting to have an issue because I saw men becoming more effeminate because I noticed men being more, a number of men being more concerned about shoes, clothes, and hair, and now skin. And it don't, and I was like, and I started peeping that, and I'm like, oh, and we started attributing that to guys being raised by predominantly women, even though we were raised by predominantly women. That wasn't a thing for us. Like, people went through phases. Like, I went through an S curl phase for like a year, and then I was like, I'm done. But now you see it now. You see these, even on YouTube, you see these effeminate commercials. Look, use this for your skin. And you know, like a year, 2 years ago, they used to have the manscaping commercials, which I thought was weird as a mother. Now they got the fake Viagra knockoff commercials because you can't get it up, and that's been on for years. And you sitting there, and I'm like, bro. And now you got, do your hair like this and do this and do that and wear these clothes. And it's like, oh shit. I get it now. I get it now. I get it now. Y'all, we're living in an insecure time. And a lot of these guys are insecure. And the issue that comes off to me is you want other men to be insecure like you. And you have an issue when these guys are not insecure like you. Because you have an effeminate mind. What bothers you don't bother. You get what I'm saying? What bother you wouldn't bother me. Like I got a homegirl, friend of the family, as a matter of fact, like was that cousin's ex-girlfriend. And when he passed, we was cool. We hang out because we just cool. But I never forget, I took her to lunch, and she had a what do you call that? She had a Camaro, and in her Camaro, the tire was low. So it was a gas station by not too far from the restaurant. So we go to the gas station, or put air in the tire to get, so for tire pressure, whatever. And she's talking to me. She's like, you don't understand, because she's younger than me. Like, she's the same age as my cousin. So, and that's maybe 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. She's like, you don't understand. I'm like, I don't understand what? She's like, guys don't know how to do this stuff no more. I'm like, put air in the tire? She's like, yes, put air in the tire, change the tire. Change the oil. They don't know how to do this stuff. They don't know how to do things that we would consider, men to do. They don't do that no more. And I'm like, and I gotta trust her, because I'm like, you're a little younger than me. And I got another homegirl, that maybe 10 years younger. She's 10 years younger than me. And I never forget, because she was working, she's like a dental hygienist. And a guy came in filling out an application. Well, he needed to fill out an application to get it at the dentist. And his mama was there with him, and his mama was filling out his paperwork, but he was trying to talk to her because they was like the same age. And she's like, I can't, like, this dude don't even know how to fill out his own paperwork, but he want to talk to me. That don't make no sense. He here with his mama. And I was like, yo, this is a problem. And I would talk to people sometimes, younger guys that were younger than me, people I work with, people I'm cool with, stuff, people I meet out when I'm working out, stuff like that. And I started seeing this more and more and more. So when I see these guys who are like anti-black manosphere and anti-black man, it's like, then it's like, oh no, the people I'm talking about don't have kids. Both of them don't have kids, actually. I started to go like, oh, okay, like y'all want the world to kind of dumb down as far as what men are capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to grade manhood on a curve because, you can talk with the best of them, but you can't, if somebody needed to depend on you, you couldn't do anything. Matter of fact, shout out to Roger, because I remember sending him, shout out to Roger for doing the, he did a review on the show Extracted. Extracted is like a show they put you out in the woods. It's like, you know, reality show / competition where it's like 12 people in the woods and they got to survive, right? And people were having a hard time. And 2 black dudes was in it, and a young black man quit day one. Day one, he was a spoiled brat. He quit. Second black dude was young, and he stayed for a good minute, but he just wouldn't do anything. He would get discouraged and just fall asleep in the woods. And it's like, bro, you got to do something. And I started to realize, you know, from that point to, you know, Extracted went off maybe a couple of months ago. From that point to then, it's like, oh, a lot of y'all really had no rights of passage of manhood because a lot of y'all ran from it. You know? Right. Exactly. Because you can fix anything on YouTube because you can find it. Now it's one of those issues where it's like, oh, y'all just don't want to do stuff. When I was younger, they made you do things. You know, and when we look at it, you know, even when you was raised in a quote unquote single mother household, your mother, your grandmother, your grandfather, your aunts, your uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, you know, teachers, coaches, they made you do things. The difference between single mother households, say 80s, 90s, in the 2010s, 2020 is, it looks like they let the kids run away from responsibility. These kids ran away from responsibilities. Yeah, it is harder than people think. So now you got a bunch of young men and young women who was accustomed to running away from actual responsibility. And they think they can talk their way out of everything. And you can't. So since you can't talk your way out of this, now what you gonna do? And nobody can answer that question, because what you're asking for a lot of times is these men that I'm calling soft, they're not gonna fix a damn thing in the community. They'll talk about all the YNs and the crime and the young black men, but they're scared of those kids. They're scared of those young men. They ain't gonna walk up and talk to them. They wouldn't even get into it with them, you know, because they're afraid. So you got grown men who are afraid of teenagers. I'm a grown man. I understand these kids running around here want to be wild and thuggish, but I'm like, I grew up in the hood. So if you really want to go left, we can go left. And I promise you, it ain't gonna go well. You get what I'm saying? So it's that. If the community needed help rebuilding, these guys wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't do it. These aren't the guys that'll be bricklayers or roofers or electricians or plumbers, or you get what I'm saying, or just part of a defense team to make sure everybody's all right. They wouldn't even be the guys who would grow food. They would just be talkers. That's it. And the interesting thing about life is you can pivot in life and do something completely different than what you've done before. And you had to figure it out. What I'm saying about these people who are anti-black man and anti-black manosphere, they don't have the propensity to actually pivot and figure something out if they have to physically do anything. Can I pay somebody to do it? I just give somebody to do it. I just ask somebody to do it. These ain't the kind of men that's gonna help society. They're not. And while we're talking about but you guys hate women. A lot of what you think of guys hate women about is really men hating women's laziness. Women's laziness has become annoying and a turnoff. When you see grown women, who swear they went to school, got an education, and got a job and got a degree, and don't need a man, and now they're basically they're doing softcore porn on Instagram and doing OnlyFans to get money. It don't add up. It don't add up. Women, getting pregnant and having children for a check, and y'all think these women ain't doing it for a check, but you can tell by how these kids is raised that their mama didn't care about them like that. By all the things they don't know how to do when they become adults. So now when guys are looking at it, it's like, nah, I don't like this. I don't like our lazy, uneducated society, and I don't like you fighting to keep it that way. No, matter of fact, I'm glad you said that, Landon. I love Big Mama, but see, my grandmothers and great grandmothers are not the same. Like, don't get it twisted. They did some wild stuff when they were younger. They did some janky stuff when they were younger. But what I see now is, like, if my grandparents, men and women, my grandparents' generation, they taught me one thing that's important to me to this day. If you do something, stand on it. If you did something right, stand on it. If you did something wrong, stand on it. They were able to actually be honest and be real. Yeah, I did this and I did that. I did it. Not you, yes, me. We got into a generation of cowards who don't want to stand on it. Yes, what I'm saying. Big Mama wasn't lazy back in the day. So it's a different type of. This is a different type of individual. My grandparents did not. Let me tell you something. Don't clean your room, you're getting your ass whipped. Don't keep the house clean, you're getting your ass whipped. As Bernie Mac joke used to say, everything work in his house? Yeah, so you do too. We've gotten to hating black men in our society because black men want effort and work ethic out of our community, and people who are anti-black men and anti-black manosphere, y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that at all. Y'all want Wakanda, from just talking. Yeah, you don't want the scientist to be seen. You don't want the miner to be known. You know what I'm saying? You don't want the farmer to have anything. You just want to. You don't want the construction workers and the builders and the architects that get everything done, and the plumbers and electricians. You don't want the roughnecks to get any shine. You just want to have everything built up to great specifications, and you walk in and talk and say, "Look at me." While everything was getting built, what were you doing? I was doing my hair, and I was getting my clothes together, and I was getting my skincare routine. Oh man, I worked so hard. No, you little bitch. You disappeared from all the heavy lifting. You don't get center stage. Sit your punk ass outside. But the internet itself is for that. You see, Keyshawn. Yeah. But the internet is for that. The internet is for hey man, I could be lazy. I could get on this computer. I could talk like I'm talking for an hour and 20 minutes. And somehow, it could go viral and it get millions of views. Oh, I'm a genius. No, I'm just talking on the internet. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking on the internet. Congratulations. But I'm gonna end this here. Let it and move on. And I excuse me. There's a multitude of reasons why I said, cats are soft. Y'all want a soft society. Y'all want a soft family. Y'all want a soft mindset. And guess what? That's why, you want soft politics. You want a soft military. You want soft sports. You want everything soft. But when stuff get real, then what? Because a soft society crumbles. A soft society full of soft people is going to crumble because everybody's too soft to do anything. Just like right now with these white people tripping about all these quote unquote immigrants they kicked out of the country. And now you just see fat white dudes halfway working outside now and they ain't really doing nothing. That's what happened. That's the society you want to live in where, well, I talked a good game, but somebody else has to do the work. And now, what am I gonna do? Oh, okay, you just gonna, manifest surviving for the next year. Okay, we'll see how that works. I mean, we are right. But that's what people want. They want a soft society. That's why you hear the young men and women, you failed me because you didn't become a millionaire, dad. You didn't become a millionaire, mom. Because if you were rich, I would never have to work. And that's what I want to do. I just want to just not work and just sit around and just sit in your house and you pay all the bills and I just chill. And then see, this is what we want to do? Oh, okay. Congratulations. I ain't doing it. I ain't with it. Sorry. But I'm gonna leave it at that, y'all, because I've been on here for a minute. Do this outro, man. Y'all have a nice day. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
It looks like a job for Superman.
Do this,
spoken from the lips of the young or the old. Fear of me.
Yeah. Gotta put it all in.
And they are Superman.
All the way.
I guess I'm taking off the cape through the glasses in the trash. Being super is great, saving y'all is such a drag. Even God took a break, me I ain't coming back. I got one life to live, if you don't like it, that's your ass. Cause nobody saved me, cause when I walk I'm just a peon. I could use somebody just like I'm the kings of neon. This world is cold as ice, mixed with salt, mixed with freon. They got me pissed off, but that's better than being peed on. For eons, human beings took kindness for weakness. When you constipated, you start to appreciate shit. Put before you life and death, and you just gotta choose. The kryptonite life means you should follow the rules. If your credit's messed up or your bills ain't paid, then it's getting disconnected. Can't nobody say the day. And I can fly, leave a building in a single bound, but I can't stand for weather friends, and I just fly around. My super friends in Justice League, only folk I kick it with. Kill Lex Luthor, so what? We had to finish it. Kids play games and adults play for keeps. And me, I play to win, but I ain't playing in these streets. And life is not a joke, then again it ain't this serious. Superman can say the day, but God can say the Superman. Saga of the kryptonite, life just ended. You enjoy listening? Man, I finished it.
Lois, come holler at me. I got an ice couch. Thank you. Coming out, listening. I knew you would like it because we made it. I'm so frigid and so fly.